New concerns this morning are growing over the Zika virus. Meanwhile, the Center for Disease Control is calling the virus, quote, scarier than initially thought. Now the CDC is asking Congress for nearly $2 billion in emergency funding to continue fighting the mosquito-borne disease. Joining us right now, NYU professor of medicine and Fox News Medical A-Team member, Dr. Marc Siegel. Dr. Siegel, always good to see you.
Great to see you.
Well, how would you characterize the Zika virus right now?
Well, we've got to be careful about this, because I think what they're finding out in research in Brazil, Maria, is that it's actually more problematic in the human brain than we thought before, and it really can get stem cells or neurological cells before they fully develop. It can affect coatings of neurons, which is a lot like multiple sclerosis. It can lead to miscarriages. It can lead to stillbirths. It can lead to eye problems, all of which affect pregnant women. But that's not the same thing as saying it's still not a mild virus. In the vast majority of cases, 80% of the time, it has no symptoms. There's 300 cases here in the United States, but it hasn't taken hold here yet. And dengue virus, which is very similar and affects 100 million people a year in the world, has never really taken hold here either. So CDC has to be on alert. They have to say maybe the $580 million we've got left over from Ebola may not be enough. But I don't like it when fear is a big driver. So I want to say it's something we have to take more seriously than we thought. Still not something to be panicked over.
And there's 300 or 326 cases in the U.S. right now. That's largely people who have traveled to places like Puerto Rico and other places in the Caribbean where the Zika virus, like Brazil, is prevalent.
Occasionally a sexual spread, but mostly the travelers. Here's the part I really like. Tony Fauci, who I've interviewed, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, is really using this plea for more money as a way to raise awareness and get the vaccine into development. It's only about a year away, this vaccine. We get the vaccine, that could be used all over the world to really slow this down. I always like the way he approaches things.
We should be clear, though, this isn't like Ebola in that you can get it overseas and bring it and then spread it inside the United States, right? This is something that is spread by mosquitoes.
But there is also sexual contact. Sexual contact as well, though.
Right, much less with sexual contact, but yes. And yes, unless it takes root in the mosquitoes in the Southwest here.
That's the concern, is that in the South, particularly as we enter the summer months, will it take root?
We have the same mosquitoes, yes.
Right, so how do we prevent that?
Well, we have the same mosquitoes, and I can say the usual mosquito prevention things. You know, we can actually do more larviciding. We can get these mosquitoes knocked down. But they tend to take hold in little areas, like on a bottle cap or in a rundown house, in really poor areas. But again, a related virus called dengue never took hold here. So I'm wondering if there's something about the climate here, something about the way houses are set up here. Maybe it's different than Brazil. But again, I don't want to be left holding the bag when this happens. So as the summer comes, we have to really educate about prevention.
But this is a really important point that Dagan brings up, and we don't have those mosquitoes here in the U.S.
No, we do have them.
We do.
But they're very similar to the ones down there, but for some reason, they've never taken off with a related virus. So far, that has never happened.
Right, exactly. That's the issue, particularly as the outbreak has grown in South America, here in the United States during the summer when mosquitoes become a serious, serious problem with the wetter weather that we had over the winter.
Let me give you a more comforting answer than I gave before. With 300 cases, it's not going to take hold in the mosquitoes here. If the numbers start to go up, you're absolutely right. It could start to spread.
Real quick, what should people be doing?
Well, I think mosquito prevention is huge. I think that's always something we should be thinking about. Wearing long sleeves, knowing how to use mosquito repellent, getting rid of still water in your backyard. All of that you should be thinking about as this comes. And maybe there should be some pressure on Congress to get the rest of that money. There was supposed to be another $1.9 billion approved. We still haven't used up the amount of money we have, but more money will get the vaccine done quicker.
This is an extreme question, doctor, but should women who are thinking about getting pregnant avoid that or postpone that if they're really worried about that?
Absolutely not. I say no, but they should not travel to areas where it's endemic. Pregnant women in the United States should not travel to Brazil.
Yeah, but you just told me that the mosquito is here, even though it hasn't taken hold.
Because I don't think the number of cases this summer, I'll make a prediction, I don't think the number of cases this summer is going to be anywhere near the explosions we've seen in Brazil or even in the Caribbean.
Okay.
I think you can still get pregnant here.
All right, we'll leave it there. Dr. Marc Siegel, good to see you. Thank you so much. We'll keep watching that.